Hey everyone, Becky Brett here with our Labyrinth Oracle card reading for this week, the week beginning on Monday, August 24th. And I have the cards right here. I am just shuffling some light into them and looking for whatever cards stand out to me, and especially if there are any that jump out. And I will use them to, tell the story of this week. What do we need to know most this week? So I'm not doing a specific type of spread. I just am pulling the cards that, that that attract my attention, and going from there. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have wandering, exit, running, the Five of Arches, resting, interesting, and I mean, nymphs. Like, I do this, and at first I'm always like, what in the world is this trying to tell me? And then once I go through it, it all makes sense. But at first, it's like, what do any of these have to do with each other? Nothing on first glance. Nothing to do with each other on first glance. But let's just start, and I'll go card by card, and then uh, it'll add up to a story for us for this week. So let's start with wandering. So the wandering card, the keyword on this card is experience. And the wandering card, it's about getting your own experience, exploring, but exploring like without an agenda. So you see, it's sort of like gray. You can't really see the ending of this path, but there are some side quests available to our wanderer, um, and they are just cloaked. I mean, the whole thing is a little bit mysterious, isn't it? This is about going out and experiencing things for yourself, even if it may seem a bit haphazard and you can't really see what the goal of this wandering is. Um, our next card is the exit card, ending. And so this is pretty obviously about the ending of something. And the thing is though, like it's the ending of one thing, but then he's clearly like heading out to something else. So it's not necessarily a bad ending, it's just the ending of something. The next card is the running card, and this card is about being on the cutting edge of something. So not necessarily racing, but being out front, in front of something. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. The Five of Arches is a card of loss. And it's a card of it's a card of loss, but it's also a card of support, because you see there are four arches that are still intact, supporting that middle. So even though you may be suffering a loss, you're not alone. You're supported. It's just part of it. Part of it you do have to experience by yourself, and it sucks. I mean, look, his face is in his hands. I don't know if this will focus on it, um, but his face is in his hands. He's by himself. There's no way for other people to really get to him, and he has to kind of travel this path of loss alone. The next card we have is resting. Obvious. Uh, Resting, being quiet, getting quiet, and listening to what nature or intuition or spirit has to tell you. rest. God, we do not rest enough. Speaking for myself, anyway. And then we have the nymphs, which is all about fun. And this is the only card that doesn't have in the deck that doesn't have anything to do with a maze or with the arcana or with the legends of labyrinths and or maze labyrinths and mazes. It's just pure fun. Crazy. I love it. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards to get. So I'm excited that we got it, but I'm still like, okay, what is the story that this is telling me? So, and where I'm kind of thrown is this running card in the middle. But let's just see what happens. So, we are wandering, we are exploring without really an agenda. We don't really know what the results of this will be, but being curious is what's important here. So get curious, even though you might not know what the results will be, because nothing is wasted. That's kind of what this tells me. Nothing is wasted in this world. Like everything you experience has value. You may not know what that value is right now. It may be this like a gray shadow right here, but it does have value. And this wandering may lead you to a change, an exit of some kind. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic exit. It could just be that that from your wandering, you realize what's not really serving you right now and cutting that out of your life. And again, it could be something as simple as quitting sugar or quitting drinking for a week or not taking phone calls from your toxic friend or any number of things, but you're going to stop doing something this week. And I think it's going to be precipitated by this exploration that you're going to realize something's not serving you anymore and you're going to stop. And then we've got running. So I think that by quitting something this week, you'll be able to focus some attention on something else that is important to you, something that's more cutting edge, something that's more at the forefront of your industry or your creativity, something that's a little bit more avant-garde. Because I think by quitting something, you'll make more time for whatever this is. Next up, with the Five of Arches, like I almost feel like these aren't quite in order, that maybe, wandering and running kind of go together, and that this exit and Five of Arches kind of go together. So you're left with a loss, and almost like I feel like maybe someone's going to be experiencing some loneliness this week. And if this is you, if you're feeling that sense of loss and loneliness, what I want you to know is you are supported, that you are loved, that even though you have to go down this river by yourself, no one can go through it for you. But who knows what's around that curve? And you do have people who are supporting you through this. I actually have something very personal, and not that personal. It's my community is experiencing a loss this week, and it's a loss of a local business that we love. So that is the Five of Arches. Now, once you have gone through this loss, and once you have quit the thing that doesn't serve you anymore, get some rest, because you're going to need it. Let all of this wash over you. Give yourself some grace and some time to rest and get quiet. I think that's where you're going to get the answers you need, and you're going to be able to recharge after all of this work you've done. I mean, so if we're if we're exploring and we're running and we are quitting something and we're experiencing loss and sadness, um, resting is what's going to replenish you this week. So allow yourself some time to get quiet, even if it's only for a few minutes first thing in the morning. Give yourself that time this week. It will serve you really well. It will serve you. And then we get to do this. We get to just like dance and play in the forest next to a river. This would be sort of the end of the week. I mean, doesn't this scream weekend? So all of this will lead to you actually enjoying your life more. If you can get through all this other stuff and eliminate what's not serving you anymore, and it's okay to feel the feelings of that loss. It's okay to rest and recharge so that you can get to this place, which is a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fun than where you were before. All right. That's our reading for this week. I hope that this resonated with you. If it did, please drop me a comment and let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.